What's up, y'all? You know what time it is. It's about to be that time.
You know what time it is. It's about to be that time. Hello, everybody, and welcome to One Piece chapter 1088 live. All right. Been waiting for this one. You know, we're in that spicy time. You know, we're in that spicy time of the story. Oda's just giving us everything outside of everything. It's about to get spicy. I'm excited. Let's see where this GARP business is gonna go. Speaking of which, actually, real quick before I get into everything, I forgot I was going to change the emojis for this. So I'm going to do that real quick because I guarantee you there's still some GARP stuff, so I need the GARP emoji. I made the mistake last week of not having the GARP emoji. And the emojis are still set for the anime catch-up that I did, so there's just a bunch of Dripper Dripper Scarfina, and get the Kaido one as well. Yeah, we need a GARP. We're gonna need a Kuzan. This isn't gonna take me very long, guys. Okay. Let's see. Shout out to Ian, who said back from vacation to read Peak with the Savage crew. Happy to have you here. Lydia Raven, appreciate you joining the channel.
Another one.
Stronger together. Stronger together. Let's see. Yeah, we did a stream yesterday where we caught up to everything that was One Piece Day. I did not react to the trailer. That is not meant to be any sort of disrespect to the production of said production. But I am a member of the Writers Guild of America. I am a member of the Screen Actors Guild, both of which are currently on strike. And now that the Screen Actors Guild has put out their requirements, we are unable to perform any duty
You loyal.
that is in support of a struck company. That includes reacting to to media or providing thoughts on said media. If something is in the theater or anything like that, not until we've won. Okay. If you refresh the chat, we should have access to GARP and Kuzan emojis. If there are any other requests, I know there's still some lingering ones from the other streams, but you know, we gonna get in here. My hope is that the strike does not last longer than release date. So, either way, like the stream, like, comment, subscribe if you're feeling the vibe. Look at those GARP emojis. The chat's ready. We here. Will I be watching things that release? Of course I will watch things that release. I just cannot talk about released
Savage.
things if they line up with strike. Lydia Raven said, officially changed my middle name to D. Here's in celebration. Just D. So you did the Homer J. Simpson. Spoilers for The Simpsons. Everybody wanted to know what the J in Homer J. Simpson was, and then they had an episode, I don't know, 10 years in or something like that, where they finally told us, and it's just J. It's just the initial. Or at least that's what I remember. It's been a long time. Okay. I have pulled the I've pulled the chapter up. And we've got a spicy cover page. I know it's all very, very confusing, guys. I see Chrissy in there trying to explain it. Homer J. Simpson, yeah, that's right, J-A-Y. That's that was the joke. Thank you, Barry. Thank you for the clarification. I'm just pulling up the OST in my ear. All right, I am ready. Where do I think this chapter is going? Well, we talked about it last week. Before I get into everything here, I mean, I don't think that things look good for Garp. I don't know if it really seems like Oda's trying to set up some sort of like a passing of the torch and a trying to galvanize Kobe in a way that'll get him to get to that next level in his desires. So if something were to happen to Garp, death, anything, it would make Kobe's character shoot up in like a tremendous degree of character. So I feel like that's what Oda is getting ready for. I feel like Blackbeard has to get involved in all of this, but we'll see. We'll see. In the analysis, I talked about, the poetry of Kuzan and Garp, and that this is one of those, pervasive themes through the story of, like, we talk about it a lot, but it's the daddy who's not your dad, So in this situation, the little bit of a flashback that we got in the last chapter kind of told us that Kuzan is Garp's real son, in a way. Like, Kobe would be like his grandson that's following, the path that he wanted. Because he wanted Dragon probably to be a Marine, and who knows, maybe he did, and, there's a bunch of theories about that, right? He wanted Luffy to be a Marine. But it's Garp's sense of freedom and everything that kind of pushed them into other directions, and he's not really realizing that or recognizing that. What Kuzan said to him about how, you create formidable foes, like you raise these people, is his magnanimous energy draws everybody in his life to want to rebel, because he himself is a person who rebels. He is against the government, even though he's a contradiction and works for the government. So even Kobe isn't Sword. He tendered his resignation. That's a rebellion in itself. Leader of the Revolution Army, his son. Four Emperor, one of the four emperors, his grandson. And now Kuzan, who is the person who he probably never expected to, train or care for or anything like that. When Kuzan and Luffy met, it was a situation where it was like, I owe your grandfather a great debt. I'd like to know what that debt is. So that's one of the big things that I'd love to get into here. And, you know, I mean, it could be as simple as he trained him, he looked after him, whatever, but can we see it? Can we see it? And we've also talked about like the fake out aspects of Garp dying as well, because if RPG just freezes him, then he can come back. But also in the pre-time skip, there was a fake out, because it was like Blackbeard was so focused on Luffy, and I think that Oda's trying to create a parallel here with Kobe. Right, he's focused on Kobe. Kobe's going to get him what he wants, the access to Marijoa. But instead of getting Luffy, Blackbeard got Ace. So is this a situation where Garp doesn't die, and Blackbeard uses Garp as the pawn? Who knows? Have we started reading yet? We're about to. I just got a question of where I thought things were going to go. So I derailed the read to get into that ahead of time. Loving the color spread here. all this pre-time skip greatness. Look at those. Look at those guys. Look at that. All right. Next page. Starting right with a flashback time. Let's go. Woo! Let's go. Flashback time. Former Navy HQ. Lesson 1. An old man and a baby have been left behind on an island of ravenous beasts. You are on a rowboat that can only hold 2. The rowboat is moving at 160 miles per hour. You are moving at 120 miles per hour. What can you do to reach them in time? All right. I get off the boat, so both of them can make it. Wrong, you nincompoop. What? Leave the old man. He's halfway dead already. I said, "Oh, Garp, you can't say that." We're back to Kobe before the glow up. What did you join the Navy to save? Think. It's people's futures, obviously. And you have a longer future than some old man. Take the baby and make the most of all those years. See, that's Garp's whole energy, is the next generation. His generation has already, seen and done everything. So he's planting seeds that will grow. Chat says I was mathing. It was actually Oda that was mathing. And where's the quick maths button?
Two plus 2 is 4. Minus 1, that's 3. Quick maths.
I've got too many buttons now. Took me a while to find that one. Don't ever fill their minds with nonsense like that again. All lives are equal. The future of the young is infinite. Who is this that's yelling at him? Is that supposed to be like a young Kujaku? I can see a young Gruss behind Kobe here, because you can see the hat. Do we know who this Marine is? The woman that's yelling at him? She's got sunglasses. And a bat. She was beating Garp down with a bat. Looks like Kuzan is there as well. I can see him doing his ah-da-da-da-da there. Maybe I'll find out on the next page. Okay. Weeks earlier, Amazon Lily. Okay, the black border is gone, so... Oh. This was, we're going back. Back to 1060, right? 1059, whichever one it was. Vice Admiral, how can we sit by while our people are held captive? But has it been weeks since Kobe got captured? Or is this before... Or is this like the first attempt to get Boa, and then it didn't work, and then they had to send the Seraphim? I don't know. Let me read. Vice Admiral, how can we sit by while our people are held captive? They're not giving us clearance to go. He's an Emperor of the Sea, after all. He's? Save us. Who knows what'll happen to us at Pirate Island? Okay, yeah. So this is when Blackbeard was there. So this is the actual capture of Kobe. And Yamakaji, who is trash, has been depetrified. Okay. Well, if it ain't Kobe the hero, what's this about? All-out war, maybe? I'm up for a scare if you are. Captain Kobe. He's in sword. We got the Zehahaha man himself. Would you be willing to trade that battleship and the 800 sailors on board for me as a captive? Kobe pulled a Roger, he turned himself in. Okay. Captain Kobe, you can't. You've set a high price for yourself, lad. That's crazy. Blackbeard initially wasn't even after Kobe. He was going to leave with a battleship and 800 sailor slaves. So we gassing Kobe up. He's worth 800 men. Alright. Present day island full of lead. A giant hand is coming out of the island. With all this Kobe gas, it better be Kobe that, like, stops Bizarro now, because both of those flashbacks were for Kobe centered. The cannons! They do nothing! It won't even flinch. We can't evade it. Prepare to abandon ship. We got Tashigi here. Get everybody below deck. Up here. Protect the civilians. Yes, ma'am. What an overwhelming power. Kujaku is shooketh. Barry, knowing exactly what I was referring to, said Sanji is worth 1,000 according to Luffy, and Zoro is worth 2,000 according to himself. This is how Oda power scales. How many men are you worth? Alright, so Kobe, 800 men. Sanji, 1,000. According to Sanji, Zoro is also worth 1,000, right? Isn't it something like that? Or, and then someone said they were each worth 1,000, and then Zoro chimed in and was like, nah, I'm worth 2,000. On Pirate Island, if that huge hand comes down, it could crush hundreds of sailors and civilians at once. What should we do, Vice Admiral Garp? Yeah, we got Gruss, Helmeppo in the background. You boys can save them. Listen close, I'll give you an opportunity. Oh, this would be fun if it's a triple play from these three. Captain Kobe, you destroy the hand of that island monster. Rear Admiral Gruss, protect the ship from the falling rubble. Lieutenant Commander Helmeppo, make sure these two aren't interfered with. But it's too big. Be decisive. Snap judgment. Now fly. Okay. This is the best case scenario, actually. You know, we had talked about what if Kuzan gets involved, what if Moria gets involved, all of this kind of stuff, but what we need is next generation gas, especially for Kobe. So let's see it. You're worth 800 men? Show me. Show me. It's about to get spicy. Look out, Kobe's on the move. Oh. What can they do without Garp? Hero. You're just a boy. You'll be feeding the fishes tonight. Alright. We got Gruss and Kobe running. I really like Gruss. Destroy it. Do you have bombs or something, Kobe? No, I don't, but I'll just have to make do. Make do. It's a hand big enough to crush a battleship. There's no escape for you, Kobe. Ah, here it comes. Make sure those two aren't interfered with. All right, Helmeppo, come on. Gotta hit it. Helmeppo. Don't turn back, Kobe. So did he just... Did he just get hit by it? Or he blew it up by trying to hit it? Alright, so Helmeppo might be out. Helmeppo is not worth 800 men. Where you going, Garp? With those wounds? You mean scratches? Barry said, "Hello, the fact that you're using my statement for power scaling again, one more time and I'm banning you." Banning me? What's gonna happen if I get banned? I guess I don't want to find out. I'm saying it out of concern. Garp, moving with the quickness. You're soft. The glasses are gone.
Savage.
Barry said you heard me, Captain. This is her Zoro yelling at Luffy, Usopp's got to apologize moment. Write it in the logbook books. Savage crew. This man flew and hit Kuzan. Alright. Getting into that. This is that spicy stuff. Alright. Huh? Okay, someone is zooming. Is that Garp? Is he heading all the way to, like, the skull? Why is Garp coming this way? Okay. Wait, don't you care about your ship? Oh man, is he gonna hit Pizarro and then Kobe's going to think that he did something? I hope that's not the case. Galaxy Divide. Ooh, busting that skull right open. Yeah. Good job, Garp. Pizarro, whoa, that's a punch. And it actually hurt the real Pizarro. Okay. That was it. Our opportunity. His arms raised. What now, Kobe? I'll live up to expectations. I see some black borders on the next page. Kobe. You. That's not the end of me, Garp. Now I'm angry. Watch this! Hey, Helmeppo. Kobe learns fast, but he's always hurt. See those bandages on his hands. There, it's Kobe. Does he think he's gonna stop that hand? Yeah. Guess being called a hero went to his dumb little head. Oh, Kobe's injuries. You see them on his hands and shoulders. Well, he told me to keep this a secret, so you didn't hear it from me, huh? Truth is, I have less natural talent at fighting than other people. So 10 times the effort isn't enough. It needs to be 100 or 200. I need more practice. If I don't put the work in, I can't be a great sailor who keeps good people safe. Ouch. Unbelievable. He does this after training with me? Yes, every single night. Give it a rest, Kobe. He punches his fist bloody against the battleship bags. Need a Kobe emoji for this chapter. Yeah. Look at the size of that ant next to the hand. This is about to be some Kobe gas. Come on. Let's get it. Let's get it. You can't, Kobe. It's too dangerous. Yeah. Just watch as your ship is sunk and your fellow sailors screaming die. If you try to flee to open water, Aokiji will freeze you. Boys can save them. Abandon ship. Into the water. Captain Kobe. Just run. We can't stop him, Kobe. Ooh, hockey. Conqueror's hockey? We got some lightning on that fist. We got some lightning on this fist. People will die because of me. Oh, honesty impact. Write it in the logbooks, ladies and gentlemen. Chapter 1088, 1088 chapters. Kobe has his first strength feat. One Piece Day. It took almost 3 decades to get here. Look at that. Look at that. Everybody was like,
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
And Kobe was like,
oh shit, here we go again.
And came through with the
Surprise, motherfucker.
Okay. That better not be the end of the chapter, though. Wow! Yow! Master Pizarro. Kobe, that was incredible. Captain Kobe, oh wow, but what about the rubble? Well, that's where Gruss is supposed to come in. He's a proud grandpa right there. Wow, Kobe, you really did it. When did you gain that kind of strength? Didn't you know he's the future of the Marines, Gruss? Glorp web. This man made a clay web. I don't know how I feel about it being called glorp, but alright. Good job, Gruss. Kobe, that was amazing. You did it. Hamepo. Yeah, I did it. Split that huge mountain of an arm. Thanks, Prince. You saved us. And once Vice Admiral Garp is on board, we're in the clear. Thank you, Kobe. Kobe, yeah, you're all right, Abari. Oh, this was Garp's plan. Gruss, Helmeppo, and Kobe are now on the ship, and the only person on the island is Garp. Okay. Yeah. So this might be the trade scenario. This is Garp. The mission to rescue Captain Kobe is complete. That's right. Now come back quickly, Vice Admiral. He's gonna say no. He's gonna say keep going. He's saying I'm staying. This is Whitebeard at the end of Marineford. That's what's gonna happen. I haven't looked at the next page, but we talked about this last week. Come on, let's see. Get away from the island full speed, huh? I'll manage on my own. Your safety is the top priority here. Isn't that right? Prince, turn the ship around. One day, what happened here will be a major threat to all pirates. Keep moving onward. All of you. Ooh, oh, whoa. Who's on? Ooh. Are the future of the Navy. Look. This man is a D! Laughing while he's got a he's been impaled. Oh my god. Okay. The next day's headline spoke of the safe return of the Navy's young hero captain, Kobe. The disappearance on Pirate Island of the legendary hero Vice Admiral Garp. And the incident in which Straw Hat Luffy, Emperor of the Sea, barricaded himself within future island Egghead. Back to Egghead. 1089. So concludes the Hachinosu experiment of One Piece. Wow. Oda, as usual, leaving it ambiguous. The disappearance of Garp. I don't know if he dies here. I don't know if he does. You know, it very well could also be Kuzan making it look like he's impaled Garp, but he just did an icicle on top of his stomach. It's all for show. Wow. And I love that the ships are like actually approaching Egghead now, so we're really gonna get into the spicy stuff of that. Final lesson. Future of the Marines. Garp creates this battle scenario, showing how strategic he is. He's a good strategist. He got all of his boys safe. He got them to the ship so that he could make sure that Kuzan didn't freeze the water and keep them from getting out of there.
Savage.
I think they'll keep Garp a prisoner. Garp will die before the end of the series, but I don't think he can do it without Luffy being there. I don't know. Garp's a way better bargaining chip for what Blackbeard wants than Kobe ever was because of just God Valley. Garp has to have something on the government. Like he's gotta know things. Like there's a reason why he hates the Celestial Dragons. But I love it. Like if he did die here, which I doubt, him laughing at everything that's going on is just that's pure middle initial energy. Guy Doin Knight said, just bought the Kaido hybrid. You'll better hurry up before the rest is gone too, chat. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, so I'm selling some statues. I have them in the description. Anybody that, wants to support, I'm going to be, I'm not clearing the shelves by any means. But over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be putting a bunch on eBay, and I'm going to keep the basically the links in the description. So keep an eye out. Maybe there's something that you want, and it's a way of floating through strike. Alejandro Salas, member for 2 months, said Davey backfight to get Garp back from the Cross Guild. So Cross Guild would do a Davey back with the Blackbeard Pirates to get Garp. But why would Buggy want Garp? Or Croc? Or Kuzan? I mean, it's interesting. It's different. Never heard it. I just need to see some explanation. Oh yeah, big Will of D energy right there for sure, Barry. Do I think Pizarro lost his eye and gets an eye patch? Is there... I gotta look at the Pizarro panel again. No, because it looks like Garp specifically went into the center of everything. So I don't think he specifically aimed for the eye. Oh yeah, and anybody who does buy anything on eBay, if you're part of the channel and you let me know, personalize something and throw it in the box. Eric Veltri, member for 11 months. Randy, do you think that the Blackbeard Pirates will use pudding on Garp to see his memories? A lot of people have brought this up, especially, we've been talking about the idea of, this switcheroo with Garp, and using pudding on Garp for the memories has always been one of my favorite ways to actually use her ability. Because her ability has been completely underutilized. There has been no story purpose for her, or even plot purpose for her ability. The cool thing with her and Sanji at the end of Full Cake, beautiful. Character. Not story or plot. It's not moving anything. It's not telling us that she has this fruit for a reason that moves the story. So having her tell us about God Valley or get us into that flashback, or if she's able to actually put her hand into a poneglyph and pull out the memories from the Void Century. Like, that story and plot that like would be really really fun. Brandon said, imagine the gag if Blackbeard tries to trade in Garp, but Buggy doesn't have the money because he never expected anyone to turn an Admiral-type bounty in. Actually, that's a fun way to bring the Cross Guild in. And, I actually, because we were talking about the whole, like, Moria joining Cross Guild thing, and, where is Moria and all of this. And there was a comment on the analysis. I can't remember what it said, but I think they said, what if Mihawk came and stopped the Pizarro's arm, right? And that got me thinking, and I was just like, oh, that's actually a really fun way to, like, do things in the first place. It's like, what is the Cross Guild gonna do? But if Mihawk had actually shown up, which obviously he doesn't, but that would have been a fun thing. If Mihawk came to rescue Perona, right? And then that's how you get the Moria there, and then a Mihawk versus Shiryu would have been really fun. Like, involving the Cross Guild in this would have added a lot of color to this. And just that one comment had me thinking for a little bit, and I was just like, oh, that's really cool. But, didn't happen. Let's see. Dizza said, let's get my G biases aside. Where does someone like Garp rank as a character in the series for you? He said, in my opinion, he's as compelling as a Sanji or a Dofi. Look, I've always been compelled by Garp. And that's why I have so many Garp theories. The Laws and Sword theory, I titled it and thumbnailed it that way to get people to look at it because more people would be interested in hearing about Law than anything. But that's a Garp theory. Like, I spend half of that video, more than half of that video, talking about Garp and like and everything, and then like the Law part of it is tied into it. It's woven in. But Garp is such a character that is, like, so confusing. And he's a character that's going to be made so much better once we actually get into the intricacies of God Valley and like why he moves the way he moves. And that's why I've always said, like, he's got to be trying to take down the government from the sidelines. I still think nothing here is really disproving that he could be the head of Sword or the inspiration of it. Because of just like his lust for freedom, right? Him not interfering with Ace, like, there has to be a bigger reason, and I've always felt like it makes sense, and I can buy it if it's I can't blow my cover, like if I go and save Ace, then. Even if it's as simple as I can't save Ace because I have to keep training Kobe because he's the one that's going to, like, finish out what I'm trying to do. Like, I'm too old. I gotta keep training the guys that actually want to, change the world here. So Garp is one of my favorite characters. For sure. And I think he's only going to get better with time. And, that's why I had the Sword Summit, because I was like, oh, we're getting into some Garp action? People were like, oh, Garp sucks, like, he's not strong, all this stuff. Like, I felt vindicated when we got that Galaxy Impact. So, yeah. Wade Judy said, I loved how Garp followed his own lesson in the beginning of the chapter at the end of the chapter. That's a fun way to look at it. Yeah. That was the whole setup there. I think I mentioned something about that at the beginning. It was just because he was talking about leaving the old man behind, right? And at the end of the chapter, he's forcing them to leave the old man behind. he always knew a sort of situation like this was going to happen, and he was preparing his pupils to be ready for that. That's what he was training them for, to be able to let him go. But I don't think this is the last we'll see of Garp. Barry said, laugh my ass off, Buggy's checks would be bouncing faster than Bound Man. Yup. Eric Telford in the chat, what's up, my man? You know, we read some peek. Ace2532 said, we go back to Egghead the day after Gear 5 in the anime. Whew. All I need in 1089 for Maximum Ascension is the confirmation Vivi is heading to Egghead as well, fingers crossed. Look, I'm ready for 1089. Those numbers mean something to me. So let's make it a good one. Brandon King, Aokiji hit Garp's stab wound to stop the bleeding. See, that's the thing, though, and I've talked about this as well, is all of this Kuzan and Garp stuff really could be like a Nami versus Usopp in Arlong Park situation, right? So what you're saying there is really on par with that. Like the way that Nami stabbed herself to make it look like she stabbed Usopp and then threw him into the water. He got stabbed by Shiryu, right? And then now he's stabbed by Kuzan in the same spot, right? But what if he is stopping the bleeding? I said, like, maybe it was just like a facade coming out of the, I didn't use that word, but I said, like, it's just poking out, right? But maybe he's laughing there because he realizes what Kuzan is doing, that he's still playing the game, that he just froze his insides so that the bleeding did stop. That's Oda's out here because it's in the same spot that Shiryu got hit. Oda thinks he's slick, but that's what it is. That's what it is, guys. Oh, shout out to Killer Comedy TV. He's got a wrench now. Shout out to everybody in here. Like, comment, subscribe if you're feeling the vibe. We're in here. We do this. Catching up here. Doesn't Garp have a high cross guild bounty? Yeah, I would love if this ties into the cross guild in some way. Like, let's do it. Like, let's go for it. We show the bounty because they're going to bring him to that. Oh man, I need it now. I need it now. Like, I see Buggy doesn't have the cash, but I see other people talking about it. Like, Crocodile has to. Like, let's have Croc, like, still have access to his money, though. Didn't Shiryu use poison in his blades? When did we get confirmation that he did that? If Kinemon can be bailed out by Law's powers, then anything is possible. Garp is gone and it's sad. He's not gone. He's not gone.
No one's ever really gone.
No one's ever really gone. And there's still a lot to get into with this. There's still a lot to read into it, but we're gonna have a little bit of some quick cheer piece. I'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Captain America, here to talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have: patience. Sometimes patience is the key to victory. Sometimes it leads to very little, and it seems like it's not worth it. And you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing. How many more of these? We're back. Barry said this is a tip for Captain Rogers and Captain Rogers only. Thank you to the captain for holding it down. Let's see. Randy went to go rescue Garp. Yeah, he's good, guys. Brandon said, I also realized going back to old Marineford and young Kobe was meant to be a promotion. Live action being an East Blue Kobe. Maybe. Let's see. Kuzan versus Luffy rematch. I mean, I'd love to see that at some point. That would be fun. But I don't think we need that. See, I think that Kuzan is on a different mission, guys. Like, Kuzan is... basically... Kuzan's story is twofold. When he was introduced, he was to gas up Garp and to set up Garp in the first place, and two, to set up the danger of Robin and the danger of the, you know, just the hierarchy that we have to attain at some point, right? Or with the hierarchy that we have to go up against, the admirals. So this could technically conclude, or is very close to the conclusion of the Garp side of Kuzan's story. We do need... there's going to be another scene with Garp and Kuzan that'll probably reveal Kuzan's true colors. Because remember, told Smoker, I'm still me, right? So this is him telling Garp that he's still him, in my opinion.
And he is him. But we also need the Robin side of it, right? And that's why so many people figured that Kuzan was going to go to Egghead. That when we saw the ship heading there before we went back to Hachinosu and knew that Kuzan was there. And I was like, no. Because the Kuzan and Robin thing, that's endgame. That's endgame. That gets resolved at Laugh Tale, you know, or like in that area. Kuzan and Garp, that's the old era. That's got to get wrapped up before. So that's what we're doing here. We're paying off that part of it, and then eventually we'll get into something where Robin's in danger, and Kuzan's got to step in, and that's how he's going to probably end up revealing his true colors to Blackbeard, because he understands her importance, and he basically bet his own life on her. So it's too early for him to have done that at Egghead. So that's why he was here at Hachinosu. That's why I said he would be here at Hachinosu, because this is the thing that's got to get wrapped up before we get to their story structure. Eventually, we will have peak scenes with Kuzan and Robin. Blackbeard will be involved in some sort of a capacity. And that's when maybe we'll even get a Kuzan sacrifice for Robin, something like that. And it will basically be an inversion of his promise to her in Ohara, where he basically said he would be the one that would come after her, right? Well, he'll probably play a game and be like, yeah, remember I said I'd come after you? Well, here I am, I'm after you. But when push comes to shove, he'll do exactly what he's done here and not kill her or do anything like that. Garp is now with God Valley, Lucia, and Jimmy Hoffa. Nah. What do I think Luffy's reaction is going to be when he finds out about this? The paper is vague. The disappearance of Garp. Like, if it said Garp was dead or something, then, you know, I could say, like, you know, Luffy would have a reaction. The disappearance, though. I forget. I don't think... Did Luffy know about Kobe? Was he told that Kobe was captured? Like, I would love to see a situation where it's just Luffy saying, well, hey, I'm gonna go get my grandpa back, because I'm not gonna let what happened to my brother happen. But basically, we already had that situation with, like, finding out that Vivi disappeared. Then he wanted to do that, and then Zoro was just like, no, remember, she's got her own adventure, blah, blah, blah. So I don't think Luffy would actually react to it until he was in front of the parties responsible. Oscar Cruz, member for 24 months, said, can't wait for the Monkey Family meetup. Yeah, I mean, that's what we need. You know, with this, we get that panel that a lot of people have been waiting for years, which is Luffy in the middle, and then on each side is Dragon and Garp. Like, we may still get that now. Parvision in the chat. Wait, you didn't finish reading? Yes, I did. Alright, so what's the verdict, Randy? Is it Conquerors on Kobe? I mean, I I said it. I was like, there's some lightning on that fist. I mean, Kobe's supposed to have conquerors. He's the future of the Marines, the pupil of Garp. Like, what he did to Pizarro to me is no different than Galaxy Impact, which definitely had conquerors on it. So I'm in the Kobe Conqueror camp. Would it surprise you to know that most creators are on the side of it not being conquerors and Kobe shouldn't? It doesn't, but I mean, it's like, so lightning on a fist doesn't mean anything anymore? Sounds to me like we just got Kobe haters. Relish in the fact that our boy finally did something. He moved. I'm moved. Like, this is future Fleet Admiral Kobe here. The future of the Marines. Garp has gassed this boy up to unimaginable levels. For him to not have conquerors? Like, he's just a goofy dude. So people are like, no, he can't have conquerors. That's Kobe. Don't you remember how he was in the pre-time skip? Yeah. Oh, Kobe can't have conquerors. No. Nope. No, not at all. That boy is a chump. He could barely tell Alvida to go and shove it. No, this chapter was all about it. Dude, Phil said, does Sai have conquerors? He had Black Lightning. That's true. He did put lightning on that drill. But why shouldn't he? His dad does. So to that effect, like, if it's in the family, whether it can be learned or it is in your genes, Don Chin Zhao had it, so why are we fighting Sai having it? Why are we saying Sai can't? Look, Par, those people, whoever, love to all the creators out there. They're reading Two Piece this week, because this whole chapter was about Kobe. This chapter was not about Garp. This is literally the passing of the torch chapter. This is, here's my true grandson. He is me. He is everything that I've wanted. He's going to do it. I can't. Boom. Every flashback was, what's up, Kobe? This is Kobe. Kobe gas. Kobe doing battleship bags too? Yeah. Garp's battleship bagging. His son Kuzan is battleship bagging. And his grandson Kobe is battleship bagging. Okay? Dragon and Luffy, they just have his name. That's it. They've got his blood. What does that matter? This is One Piece, okay? Garp's children, his child is Kuzan. His grandson is Kobe. And they were bagging. This is the legend of Battleship Baggers Vance. Okay? Battleship Baggers Advanced Conquerors Hockey. Ramona Villa said most creators believed in ZKK, or the raid failing, or that Bogard would do anything. Oh damn, shooting shots at at par. LOL. Let them bark. Kobe's a conqueror. I forgot about the Bogard agenda. Bogard definitely just sat there. Bogard's in the mud. I'm sorry, Par. It was a fun idea. It was a fun idea. But unfortunately, Oda has forgotten who Bogard is. I don't even think he showed up in this chapter. TV in the Attic said not putting Bogard and ZKK in the same boat. Par said he's a straight cap, and most creators did not think Bogard would do anything. That is true. There's one creator that thought Bogard would do something. Barry said he has potential, but he needs to evolve if he thinks he can be with my girl. Which girl? Hibari? Rebecca? Which one? We're talking about Kobe, right? Just catching up on the chat. Bar said, yes, Randy. No, actually, on Twitter, Ragnar, Morge, Cole, etc. are like Black Lightning being conquerors is a fandom made-up thing. This is a conqueror's hockey feat. He's not even touching the arm. Like, that's the whole thing, too. You want to talk about conqueror's hockey being like, you're not touching anything? Like, he is literally basically Kamehamehaing through this hand. He is creating a energy blast. This is DBZ levels of craziness in my One Piece. This is Conqueror's Hockey. That's the only way I can explain this. Kip/Seaway say, I'm just happy Kobe finally did something. It's awesome to see. Not only did he do something, he did this. That's crazy. And they gassed it up too by saying nothing else that they were doing was working to destroy the arm. And he made it look easy. No, Randy, this is a completely different conversation. Copy. Spy family, all right. Sometimes fake spoilers can really help a reaction video by doing a simple misdirect. Was there some sort of like fake spoiler out there about this chapter? DK said it's literally a copy of Garp's Attack. And it's Garp's Conqueror's Attack. Exactly, that's what I was saying. Does Burgess have Conquerors? Asked Noob Phil. He had Black Lightning? When did he have Black Lightning? Against who? Sabo? Or against, in that chapter where he was going up against the... Law's crew? I mean, probably. Like, I mean, look. At the end of the day, Burgess is going to be like one of the end game fights. One fake spoiler was that Bogard cut the hand. No way. No way. They're trolling. That's not a fake spoiler. That's troll. DK said Roger got fake spoiled. Which fake spoiler did he get? Shout out to AH Eclectic. Eclectic. Yeah. Took me a minute to realize what you were doing there. Appreciate the sub. Like, comment, subscribe if you're feeling the vibe. Emil said, I want to see a YouTuber debate on this subject. I mean, the writing is on the page. Like, it's on the page. You can say whatever you want, but it's on the page. Like, people are just sitting there like, why is this guy from chapter 2 doing this? Why are we spending time with a guy from like 26 years ago, 27 years ago, like chapter 2 energy? Come on. When the answer is, he was in chapter 2 for a reason. Because he was always meant to do this. When we're at the end of anything, Kobe's gonna be there. Because Kobe was at the beginning of everything. And this is Oda telling you, hey, Kobe can hang. Kobe's got it. He can hang. This is me watching everybody debate whether or not this is actually Conquerors. Actually, this is more me actually, because it's on the page. Oh.
They didn't believe in us. God did.
Bar said, soon I'll get you on the right side of the Bogard agenda. Look, I like Bogard. And I did watch your video, man. I watched the Bogard video. It was fun. It was fun. But that's what it is. It's fun. It's not story or plot relevant. I don't think that the story is going to get us to a point where Bogard is the secret important guy. We're in the end game. This chapter was about elevating Kobe. If Bogard did this and Kobe didn't do anything of this level, then all of the Kobe haters would have exactly what they needed. That ammunition. If Gruss did this and Kobe didn't have a feat, it would be like, why is this guy we just met in the cover story of like, I don't know, 860 something or whatever, and then he comes into the story and then has a great feat. No, it's great that Gruss had a feat too, because I actually really do like that. I really, he's one of my top Marines right now, because he's drippy. And he's also drippy literally. Like, he's got that, he's Clayface. But Man. Bogart doing it would set us up for a hype for a character that ultimately isn't going to be a part of the end game. That's the problem. Parza, remember when you said Oda probably forgot him and he hasn't shown up in 700 chapters, and then he showed up right after? I still think that he forgot about him, and then he remembered. He was like, oh wait, he's in the live action. I should probably put him on this ship. You know, it's like, there's... It's just... It's the problem of having too many characters. That's what it is. Yamil said Kobe versus Elizabello in a punching match. Who wins? See, I don't know. Is Elizabello warmed up? Does he have prep time? Because if it's no prep time, it's Kobe. If it's Elizabello and he's got prep time, then they're clashing. They're scrapping. Noob Phil said, can we talk about how underutilized and forgotten Tashiki has become? Her character arc is non-existent. Yeah, we can talk about that.
Savage.
And I think it's all for the benefit of Smoker. But it's also just another situation of Oda, you know, platforming his male characters and leaving his female characters on the floor. I would love, you know, to see like Tashiki do something like this, right? That would be fun. Especially if Tashi is supposed to have some sort of a fight with Zoro later down the line or something. Like, it's the problem of having too many characters. How many like stages are you going to set for everybody? Tashiki will have her time in the sun though. But I think it's going to be Smoker's time come Egghead, and that whatever the result is of what Smoker is doing is going to dictate what Tashiki does. Barry said, the first person Luffy influenced in the story is going to be right there to fight besides Luffy, a la Roger and Garp, and see him bring the dawn. Exactly. Like, what we're seeing here is a product of Luffy. Luffy saved this man, this boy, who, by sheer fate and Oda's pen, became Luffy's cousin. You know, like, this is Garp's grandson here. You know, he basically became another grandson. Like, this is a sworn brother of his, essentially, without the sake cups. My guy Dan DeCarlo said, hey, Dragon Ball forgot launch. Toriyama forgot a lot of people. Mackerel said, could Frankie get upgraded with having Mountain Dew blood infused so he can use different devil fruit powers without losing the ability to swim? I love how you're calling green blood Mountain Dew blood. Yeah, that's been a, you know, we've talked about it here. One of the biggest pushers of that in the community is Hidden Island, and I love it. Because, like, Frankie said in Dressrosa that he didn't want devil fruit powers. He didn't want to be a hammer. He didn't feel like he needed it. And I also, like, don't think Frankie needs it. I think he needs upgrades. Sure, right? But I would only love it if he can cycle through different Devil Fruit abilities, because I've seen most people just talk about him having Senor Pink's ability, which is fun, right? But if he, everybody's like, Niku needs to go to the crew, all of that and everything. Like, what if it isn't Vivi that gets it? Which, Vivi, I still would love for Vivi to have it, but what if it's just Frankie gets the green blood of the Niku and then can paw things away, right? Which there's already a linear tie between Frankie and Kuma to begin with. So that's fun. But if he can cycle through them at like different cola bottles, basically the tea joke from Ennie's Lobby, and him having the juice, and what that changed him, and he just opens his chest and he puts different green blood. It's like, okay, Paw. All right, Marrow. Here, swim fruit. That's the fun of it. But beyond that, he is half petrified right now. So this is the time for Oda to do something really devastating with Frankie and just like really bust this man up to where he breaks. And then what if Vegapunk, throughout the course of the incident, is actually rebuilding Frankie? Like, we have the technology. We can make him stronger. What if the green blood gets infused against Frankie's wishes? Because he's out. He's basically dead, right? But then Vegapunk revives him and gives him these abilities. And then he's just kind of like gotta go with the flow. I'm okay with that too. $6 million man. Andrew Knowles said, I would love a Frankie redesign. Yeah. A redesign would be dope. Cold Killer says, $10 says, Vegapunk was friends with Tom the Shipbuilder. That'd be interesting. That'd be some Tom gas. Willow Dreams talked about, what I talked about in the analysis and what I talked about earlier, saying it's ironic all the people Garp chose rebelled, and Luffy found the one who wanted to emulate Garp and would be his best student. But not only that, Kobe also will rebel against the system. So it's the same track. It's just Kobe is going to rebel within the parameters and the lines that Garp wanted. It's like he wanted Ace and Luffy to be Marines so he could keep them close, do battleship bags, and train them to be the future of the world and the government to save people, right? Not realizing or recognizing that what Luffy is doing in the first place, well, he is recognizing. That's why he laughs every time he sees what Luffy's doing, and that's why he's proud of him. Is Luffy is doing exactly what Garp wanted. He's going and he's saving people, but he's actually doing it in an almost more efficient way because he's outside of the lines, right? And now Kuzan is outside of the lines as well, also. But, he's not really saving people, but I think the end game of what Kuzan is after will be in line with Garp's teachings. New Phil said, I need Smoker to make big moves in the Egghead incident. Oh, yes. And he will, because that's why Zingy just asked, why do I think Tashigi was included in these chapters? To show the separation of where Tashigi and Smoker are. Smoker was not involved in any of this, right? We haven't seen Smoker. Why? Because Smoker's going to be on Egghead. Because he's more tied to Vegapunk than his through line, his story ties him to Vegapunk more than it would tie him to the actions here. Smoker is tied to Kuzan. They're friends, right? But he would actually muddy what's happening here. Tashigi being on Egghead would be a distraction for the character growth that Smoker has to have. Smoker and Tashigi have always been better when they were separated. Think about Alabasta, right? Smoker was in the cage with the crew, right? And that was when we were actually getting like Smoker lore, Smoker moments with the crew. We were actually getting to see like the machinations of how this guy moves, how he acts. He gets saved by them, and he makes a choice to let them go without Tashigi, right? He leaves and he lets Tashigi handle everything in Alabasta. She gets in a very similar situation, right? And ends up basically making the same decision that Smoker made on her own. There's good stuff when they're together, but their biggest character moments have always been separate. Smoker is not with Tashigi when he is fighting Virgo and doing all of the and all of that. And Tashigi is not with Smoker when she's dealing with Monet. So here we have Tashigi here, not necessarily doing anything, but Smoker's going to be really important on Egghead. Mona Villa said, Tashigi needs to do something, but here she came to help the civilians. She couldn't act against the Yonko crew. Because she's not in Sword.
Savage.
That's a good point. That's a good point. And I like that distinction. Tashigi is not in Sword. So she's actually just following orders. Brandon said, do I think Luffy will punch Saturn like Charlos? I think we'll get a complete recreation of that panel. But Charlos, but Saturn will be like, that's all you got. You know, something like that. Like, he'll get back up. Shin said we still have Fujitora, and he also should show up on Egghead. She said, Randy, imagine Smoker reads the papers about Garp's fate under Kuzan. See, I like that. Because Smoker having that interaction with Kuzan, if he is there when Luffy learns about this information, like if Smoker and Luffy learn about it at the same time, Smoker can say something that will actually make Luffy feel better about it. Like, Smoker could say something like, Kuzan was involved? Don't worry about it. I'm sure he's fine. And then that's the payoff of the scene that they had in Punk Hazard. There's reasons for everything. Mark said, I remember when people thought the Gorosei were just old dudes with no combat capability. See, the problem is that a lot of people think old people are just old people. But old people were young once. And there's a lot of old people that still act young. New Phil Tashigi would be the perfect way to bring katana lore back to One Piece. That detail kind of got just got kind of forgotten for way too long. Yeah, and you know, she has her own dream too, to collect all of the swords. And it's, you know, it's been a while since we've seen her collection. You know, I'd like to see that. Carlos versus Spandam versus Orochi fight. Who wins? Spandam. Dash, Randy, you have a lot of figurines, but do you have a katana or any other big memorabilia? So I've got I have a sword in the corner, but it's wooden. Like it's more of like a training thing, not really like a actual sword. I have a 1-to-1 bust of a Terminator head. That's one of my bigger items. Terminator. And I have this giant thing. It's not giant, I mean like it's probably this big, of like a crest with the 1000 Sunny on it, but it's so heavy I don't even know if I can put it on a wall. I've never been able to put it on a wall, so it's just sitting in the box. But one day, I'm gonna find a place to put that. Yeah, Mars is playing with the real sword outside right now. Absolutely, of course. Of course. Yeah. How else is he gonna learn? You gotta start him young. Mark said he completed 2 short screenplays. Learning how to be a better writer by writing. That's a great way to learn. Also by reading. Read the scripts of your favorite movies. Probably find them online. See how they did it. New Phil, what are we thinking? Is Moria and Perota going to do on Hachinosu? Well, I think we're done with Hachinosu for now. I don't know. I mean, we can definitely come back here at some point, but I don't think we're going to come back until after the Egghead incident at this point. My thing I've been saying is, we don't really know that Moria is on Hachinosu. Could he be? Yes. But Moria, like, trying to get Kobe to free Moria doesn't imply that he's there, just that she thinks he's there. So Moria could be on Egghead, like on the boat that's going to Egghead. You know, maybe Lafitte, Devon, because it's got to be more than just Lafitte and Devon, right? So if it's Lafitte, Devon, Pudding, and Moria, you know, then Perona could want to go to Egghead and maybe show up at some point for that, and the things just get wacky. We're adding a lot of characters into the mix, but if Oda decides that it's relevant to have Moria there, and be another warlord to kind of talk about the Seraphim angle. Now, the other thing that could happen is Moria and Perona are on a ship that has left Hachinosu, right? And they get intercepted by Sengoku and Suru, who have two paths, right? Either they're going to go to Hachinosu or they're going to go to Empty Bluffs, because they were talking about what Garp was doing and they were talking about what the Cross Guild was doing and saying that the Cross Guild need to be stopped. So I was saying that Sengoku would run into Law and Beppo on the way, and then, you know, that would tie that storyline together. But what if they ran into Moria and Perona and got captured by them, but then got freed at Empty Bluffs, and then that's how you get Moria and Perona to be part of Cross Guild? There's so much that could happen. Where is Pudding at? Yeah, we don't know exactly where she is. Egghead really turning into a battle royale. Well, I mean, that's what Oda said, right? He hyped up a battle royale. This person's gonna fight this person. This person's gonna fight this person. Wow, right? I'd like to see Moria's reaction to Luffy beating Kaido as well, Kind Bass, and that's a fun thing that could come from a Moria alliance on Egghead, right? Moria runs into Luffy, they have a conversation about that. It would be interesting if Moria is reluctantly working for the Blackbeard Pirates, right? But it's like, what would they have on him that would make him follow them? Like, because it would be Perona, but it's not. We know that it's not. Hogback? You know, like, I don't know. Because the thing is that Moria is a broken pirate, right? He's a dude that had a lot of ambition. It got crushed. He became lazy. Settled into a position that basically offered him nothing and just kind of moved around his life like a sloth. Now, we've seen plenty of characters like this throughout the story. I mean, even Bellamy is in a way, you know, similar to Moria in a couple of different ways. And if, like Bellamy, Moria was able to get some sort of inspiration from Luffy and kind of turn things around, that could be a reason for having him on Egghead. But it's not out of the question that Moria would be so such a defeatist to just kind of like just be like, fine, I'll work for Blackbeard, like, what else am I doing? Great, yeah, guy killed my, you know, one of my best friends, but I want to live, so I guess this is the way that I've got to do it. And, you know, he's acting on his own interests, but really he's just, it's all self-preservation. But Blackbeard wants something at Egghead, so he needs Moria to help them get it. There's a possibility for that. Moria is important for something. That's all I know. That's all I've gotten from what Oda is saying, but it's like, where is he important? I don't know. And it really could be as simple as like, yeah, he's just because it's cool, he's gonna team up with the Cross Guild. But it could be deeper if it's an egghead, and that's an interesting thing to me. Moria does care about his crew a lot, though. That's the difference. And it would basically, if he was on Egghead and he had an interaction with Luffy, it would basically be the same. It would be treading the same line as like Luffy versus Bellamy in Dressrosa. It's like, yeah, I don't want to work for this guy, but at this point, like, I've got no other options. And then Luffy would be like, yes, you do have other options. Just come over to this side of the line. Of course, Luffy wouldn't say that, but his actions and everything and his energy would dictate that. Phil said, what if when Vivi gets to Egghead, Morgans becomes a combatant? I mean, he has a Devil Fruit, and he did, like, one-hit KO a Cypher Pole agent, so Morgans is a combatant. Jacob said, Hogback's laugh haunted me when going through Thriller Bark. Oh, don't worry. I'm here for the haunt. I'm here to bring it all back. Abu Salama. I got laughs on deck. I'm always ready to haunt people with the 2. Bring back that foxy haunt. Mark said, I perfected my crocodile laugh, specifically when he meets Luffy again. Sashi burita na mugiwara. It's so cold when he sees Luffy get an impel down, and it's like, it's crazy too, because that's not really how it goes down in the manga, but it's so iconic in the anime. Do I think Morgan's human form would be relevant or important to the story? We haven't seen it. I mean, I think it would be awesome if it ended up being someone that we knew, but I think it's a great way to like, there's this character, kind of like think Kamazo and Killer, right? We're introduced to another character and they're moving around and all this stuff, and then they transform and it's like they were Morgans the whole time. Like, that's the thing that Oda could do that would be cool. I don't think it's going to be a situation where it's like, oh wow, Attach was Morgans the entire time. You know, something like that. Like, because it's at this, who could he be? Who would be so important at this stage of the game that they were Morgans the whole time? Tin said that Croc impression never gets old. I love getting any opportunity to do it. I did not know that. Jinbei's voice actor is Moria's voice actor? And then Jinbei and Moria were fighting each other? So it was basically Django versus Mr. 2 again? That makes me think that Oda, like, knew that and did that on purpose. Like, he's drawing, it's just like, I'm gonna put this voice actor to work. Morgan's a Copacabana in disguise. Do I still think Morgan's is going to Egghead, or is this arc getting a little overcrowded? Look, here's the thing. What if Morgan's is Panda Man? Shout out to JP Legend. Morgan's literally said what is going to happen on Egghead is going to be the next O'Hara. Morgan's is a scoop man, okay? And he missed out on O'Hara. He is not going to miss this one. So that blimp, whatever he's got, like, that is going to Egghead. So, and the plot demands that Vivi reunites with Luffy now. So,
come with me if you want to live.
This is Vivi. This is Vivi and Egghead. When everything gets to a critical moment and they need to get away,
come with me if you want to live.
Yeah. It's crazy too that that's the same voice actor. Because the doing Moria's voice is actually like one of my like favorite ones to do, and I've been waiting for them to come back into the story so I could just keep going. But the funny thing is like sometimes I'll be doing Moria and it'll just turn into Pika because they're both really high pitched and they're like kind of the same voice. Pika 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 da da. But it's almost indiscernible. I think that it's like if you told me that was the same voice actor too, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. All right, so I'm taking a look back at the chapter. Gonna do another read, talk about a little bit more stuff here, and then we'll get ready to wind it all down. There we go. All right, lesson 1. An old man and a baby have been left behind on an island of ravenous beasts. You're on a rowboat that can only hold 2. What do you do? I get off the boat so both of them can make it. See, that's such a Kobe answer. And this is... The whole point of this is Garp is trying to basically be like, hey, realize that your life has worth. And that the old generation had their time. So don't be so quick to give your life up, which we see, time and time again, self-sacrificing characters. And then the old character comes in and is like, no. Your time is still yet
Savage.
Shout out to Ace2532. Said, do you think the actual incident will be an upgraded Buster Call? Battleships blow up all the buildings. Sky Laser finishes the job. Vivi shows up in place of the Mary as the escape vehicle. That's exactly what I'm saying. She shows up.
Come with me if you want to live.
It's gonna be at the end. I mean, I would love if she was more involved with everything, but I think it's I think it's an end thing. There's 2 key moments for Vivi to appear, and that's And I will stand by this because Oda has given me no reason not to believe in this. Because every character has either been showing up on their birthday or on an anniversary of their first appearance. The Gorosei, when we got their names, that was like 21 years to the day or 23 years to the day, something like that. 22 years to the day of when they were introduced. Like, it was the chapter that they were introduced was like June 10th, 2002, something like that. And the chapter where they got their names revealed officially was June 11th, 2023. So it's like, that's a thing. And then when, we got one of the first Cross Guild chapters, it was during Buggy's birthday. And then it was, and there was like Blackbeard's birthday, Shanks' birthday, like everybody was showing up on these particular days. Or Oda does a thing where it's relevant to the number chapter that they were introduced. So it's like whatever he can find that fits that mold, right? So Vivi was introduced in September. So when we start getting into the September chapters, we could get Vivi then. Vivi was introduced in chapter 103. So 1,000 chapters after that would be 1103, which is really close, but gives us enough time to get through a lot of Egghead. So she could appear in chapter 1103 or in September. Or her birthday's in February 2nd, so then that could be when she appears. So, but it also could be a situation where we get little hints of all of what the next moves of what Vivi are in all of that. So we could see like the conversation about going to Egghead in September. We get to 1103 and it's like her getting closer. And then in February, it's actually her like reaching her arm out. Like if we're really an Egghead for that long, I don't know. Jeez, let's see, we're in July now. We could very reasonably get to 1103 by the end of the year. So that's only this point. 2 plus 2 is 4, minus 1, that's 3 quick maths. There's just 14 more chapters. So I fully expect Oda to do something like that. But yeah, I do agree with you, Ace, that it's an upgraded Buster Call because for one, there's way more battleships here than we're at Ohara. By a lot. Ohara had battleships, but they didn't have 100 battleships. So it's like where there was enough of Ohara left for Vegapunk and Dragon to have a conversation, there will be nothing left of Egghead when this is done. Lulusia status. It never existed. Oda does love his numbers. DK said, I feel like chapter 1100 is going to be a huge revelation. Well, that's a fun thing too, right? Is 1100 would be 1,000 chapters after Dragon's real introduction. Chapter 100 is when Dragon appears at the beginning of the chapter and is reciting, like, Gold Roger's words, right? So chapter 1100 could be Dragon arrives at Egghead, or Dragon does something. And we'll all just be sitting there like, whoa, go to 1,000 chapters after. It's just like, yeah, he's had this planned. And he also is maneuvering and fabricating the story in a way that, like, if he just dropped the number thing, the story would probably move more fluidly. But he wants us to say, wow, it's lining up like this. And it's like, the math of the story sometimes hurts the story, and it definitely hurt the story during Wano. But we're, you know, I'm giving away all of my prediction secrets. This is why we win. What was chapter 110? That was in Whiskey Peak. Getting close to Little Garden area. Ace said 14 more chapters would likely put us around January or February, depending on breaks, assuming the goal is 1100 for Christmas. Yeah. So in that respect, 1103 could also be like the first chapter in February. So it would be not only Vivi's birthday, but 1,000 chapters after her introduction, she comes back to the crew. And then we would be in Elbaf during 1,000 chapters after we were in Little Garden also, essentially. Right, we do a bunch of lore chapters at the end of it. We go to Elbaf. We're in there 1,000 chapters after we were at Little Garden when we were setting up Elbaf. This is exactly what's happening, guys. This is what's happening. What's happening? Chips are down. Take the L if, we get there or whatever, but I mean, it just seems, this seems like a layup. Seems like a layup. Alright. This flashback at the beginning of the chapter, Garp's lesson, take the baby and make the most of all those years. That's him also referring to Ace. And this is definitely before Marineford, right? Because we can see the glow up hasn't happened for Kobe. So it's crazy for him to say that and then still not act during Marineford, which when we go back to this line and then look at Marineford and get a little more into Garp's backstory and all of the Garp stuff that's supposed to come after this, because Garp's character is not wrapped up here, that's going to mean even more. It's crazy to think that this Amazon Lily stuff was weeks earlier. Weeks. Kobe was with Blackbeard for weeks. Yeah, Yamakaji really is a bum, right? He's just like, Captain Kobe. And then someone comes up and is just like, he's in Sword. And Yamakaji's just like, la-da-da-da-da, alright, whatever. He's already put in his resignation. Let him do what he's doing. I'm not fighting these guys. I got turned to stone and then somehow got turned back. I'm good. I'm good. I'm trash. This guy is like the worst Vice Admiral. Leonardo Martin said, so Smoker on chapter 1098. That's interesting because we're also getting into the territory of Smoker 1,000 chapters after his introduction, right? So I think we'll get Smoker introduced earlier, but the chapter that he was introduced will be a big moment for him, right? So it would be the moment where he decides to defy the government and choose Luffy. So it would be like a situation where maybe he saves Luffy because 98, 99, or whatever would be the execution, 1,000 chapters after the execution, and the moment where Smoker sees that Luffy smiles, and it reminds him of what Roger did. And he's like... And that's, like, the trigger of why Smoker wants to, like, just go hard body after Luffy. And he's like, because he wants to prevent the world from having another Roger. So... 1,000 chapters after his introduction should be the moment where Smoker realizes maybe that's not a bad thing. You know what? These guys suck. Luffy, you might be able to fix this world. Shout out to Alec Eason for subscribing. Like, comment, subscribe. Feeling the vibe. Appreciate it. I don't know. Maybe this number math is something that I just need to do my own theory video on. Maybe it is worth it. Maybe it is worth it. Number math. So, the cannons do nothing, very much like the goggles did nothing for McBain in The Simpsons, to make another Simpsons reference to round out the stream. Radioactive Man. That is to hype up Kobe. Cannons couldn't do anything to that hand, but Kobe's Conqueror's Coded Fist did. Beat Gamer thinks Kobe might seek out Luffy if a trade is declined by the world government for Blackbeard's kingdom. It's a rescue Garp mission from Blackbeard. Garp wouldn't want that. But hey, Ace didn't either. I do like the sense of dread that Oda was putting in this chapter. And it just reads better on the page. Because this is gonna feel so dragged out in the anime. It's like, I hope they can keep the pacing going. Because here's the thing, like, he's already got his hand in the air, right? And this is so Dragon Ball Z, like, the hand should just go and get it. This should all be happening, like, quick. Like, this is a whole episode worth of content, but it really needs to happen in, like, 3 minutes. It shouldn't be, you know, it shouldn't be taking time, because at the same time, it's like, he's so close to grabbing the ship at the end of the last chapter. But all of this is happening while he's just moving at a snail's pace. And he's keeping the dread going up, but the pacing isn't really there. Bullet time hand. Dash said, Garp the Fist, while Kobe surpassed the Island Fist. What a moment. I like that. Yamil spitting. Yamakaji was letting 800 Marines be enslaved. Let's not forget that. He was basically like, I am not going up against Blackbeard. I'm good. 800? Hey, at least I'm not on the ship, right? See, but the thing I also love, though, is at least Oda did this thing where he showed how fast Garp is. Like, that's one of my favorite parts. Just Garp zooming. Zooming. Galaxy divide. Split that skull in half. And look at Kobe literally looking at the readers and saying, I'll live up to expectations, and they still don't believe that he'll live up to expectations, and then he does what he does, and they still say, nah. See those Garps in the chat, guys. Like, seriously, everybody, like, if you've got the Garp emoji, like, this is for Garp. This is for Garp. Let's drop those Garp emojis. He deserves it. There's the Garps. Look at that. Look at that. Do I have a Spotify with my background music? Love to listen to it at a different time. I don't, but the link is in the description. Barry, I love that emoji that you added. Omakaji. That's what I'm saying, Brandon. Pizarro out here like Frieza. This hand will hit the boat in 5 minutes. 30 episodes later. I always love the joke. It's like, how many Saiyans does it take to fix a light bulb? Just one, but it takes 30 episodes to do it. Man charged up the Conqueror's Hockey Fist. Like, I love that panel. Kobe is like I'm not even talking about the one where he punches the hand. Like the one where he's got the fist going. He's ready. He's ready. He's coming. Anger on his face. It's good. It's good. It's good. And even everybody else is telling you that it's incredible. Kobe, wow. 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 And nobody believes. When did you gain that kind of strength? That Gruss is the community. Meanwhile, everybody's forgetting that we just had the flashback right before that to tell us where he got it. He had a Rayleigh flashback. It's a Garp flashback, but he had a Rayleigh flashback right here. People don't want to believe. Cue the X-Files theme. This part where Garp's on the snail telling everybody to leave, though, that's going to hit in the anime. Yeah. I'm thinking pudding doesn't go to Egghead. I really like the idea of the extracting the God Valley memories. Because it's like, Blackbeard always gets what he wants, but most of the time without even trying. So a lot of it ends up becoming convenience. So he has pudding because he wanted to, do particular things, but then Garp is there, and he's able to get him even closer and faster to where he needs to go. So it's like Garp doesn't have to break because Pudding can just take memories. Love it. Gruss did more than Green Bull ever did. Hey, look, I'm a Gruss stan, okay? It's the agendas, Randy. They bind all. Was Kuzan crying? Absolutely. That's why the ice is congealed under his eye. Just like in the last chapter. It's crying. What a chapter. What a chapter. Convenience or fate. Exactly. That's what all of his crew will say, that it's fate. Harry said, oh man, someone on TikTok posted the Lola and Chiffon reuniting in the cover stories, and Gruss was one of the Marines in the story. Yeah. When we were first introduced to Gruss in a... what was it? It was when Helmeppo approached him, we gotta save Kobe. And I was like, oh, that's the guy from the Capone cover story. And then I remember the chat was just like, how do you remember that? And I was just like, why would I forget someone that was as drippy as this guy? So, yeah, Gruss stocks are rising because, he kept saying, am I the future of the Marines too? And he got his answer. Garp was pretty much like, yeah. We might be looking at the future. I mean, Kobe's really the fleet admiral, but, maybe fleet admiral will be like Smoker or Fujitora, depending. And then the admirals will be Kobe, Gruss, and Helmeppo. The gas for Helmeppo is wild, but yeah, I got a drip catalog in my head. Gruss outranks Kobe, yeah. Or maybe instead of Helmeppo, it's Drake. Where is Drake? Drake? We need them to run into Drake. Interesting. Brandon said, I also saw people making comparisons to Gruss's clay web and Dofi's string web. They do look similar, and one is a prince. Makes you wonder if the similarity is intentional. That's interesting. I like that. What about Admiral Law? No. That's some based appreciation right there. I think Law dies. At the end. Drake on his way to meet Law for a Secret Sword meeting. Whoa, whoa. Just bring back the hand rub. Oh, that's a fun thought. Barry said the cover story happened on Dressrosa. Maybe he heard the stories and tried something out with his own abilities. See, like that's the kind of stuff that I would love, because that's the thing that Luffy does when he hears about things. It's like, giant web, huh? Like just like a little line of him saying that would be really cool. So, yeah. But I think I'm gonna start wrapping the stream up here, guys. I think we've covered everything. I'm gonna get into, working on the analysis. I do love this chapter. We are on break, I believe. So we'll have a theory for theory next weekend, and drop below who you think would be fun to talk to, and I'm gonna keep working on different videos that I'm working on and try and get them out for you guys. I feel good that I can use the internet again. Yeah, that's fun. Volume 1 podcast. That's good. Chainsaw Man Tuesday. Yeah, we can do Volume 8 for Chainsaw Man on Tuesday. Let's see. You guys drop what you want to see. I'll be back. I'll read all of it, and then we'll wrap up. Be right back. Let's see. Jay, I've been enjoying his Kobe reactions. I mean, that's fun. I'm down to talk to Jay. The one thing, the issue with the collabs is that anybody I bring on is going to want to talk about something in particular that I can't. Let's see. Barry said Volume 1 would be so much fun. I love them. I mean, we were talking about it in person when we met at Anime Expo. So we're definitely going to have them on the channel at some point. Maybe it'll be this one. Thoughts, predictions on 1089. Realistically, 1089 is going to be a it's going to be a setup and repositioning for Egghead. It's going to be like a reminder chapter of where everybody is in their geography. I'd hope for a really great reveal, but it's mostly just going to be like really just catching back up with everything. I mean, we did leave, you know, with some peril. So, Bonnie in the paw room. Zoro reaching the paw room, still want that. S-Hawk is on his way to, like, I think go after Robin and Chopper. Be nice if York does something. We need the tension to go up a little bit more, so, you know, maybe the chapter ends with someone arriving. Where's Captain America? All right, fine. Every time we do cheer piece, I'll bring back Captain. We want to overuse it. Let's see. Buggy versus Law. I've been saying that for years. I need that. I need Buggy versus Law, and I want Law's ability to not work on Buggy. Yeah, we had the York reveal, and then we had like the little bit of a York flashback thing, and then we got sort of the narration of everything. Four to 5 months ago? Really? Has it been that long? No way. No way. No way it was 4 to 5 months ago. Can Seraphim swim? That's a great question. I would love to know that. Like, did Vegapunk figure out a way to give Devil Fruit powers and make it so that he could still swim? Last Egghead chapter was like mid-March. Time flies. Yup, when you're having fun. I don't know, I haven't really missed it. We've been having peak after peak after peak, so... yeah. Time isn't real. It's a flat circle. Alright. You guys have given me some stuff to think about. I will take all of this into consideration. Alright. And I'm gonna run. Later, everybody. Appreciate you hanging out. Stay tuned for the analysis. Look out for new videos. Follow the Discord. The store is back up. Link is in the description. I've added some new items. lavishbracket.com. We have, if you guys are interested in adding to any sort of One Piece collection, like I said at the beginning of the stream, we'll be adding some statues, selling some stuff. Anybody that that buys anything, you know, and I know that you bought it, or, you know, throw something extra in. If it's just some rando on eBay, then, you know, they're Just getting it. And that's it. Thanks, everybody. Barry said Kaizoku shirt. I did bring the Kaizoku shirt back. It's a sweater. Do you want? Do we want just Kaizoku on a shirt though? Because I was going for like the actual like Supreme vibe. So. You guys let me know what needs to come back. I'll probably bring back... I'll see if I can get away with bringing back the Nika stuff, because we're getting close to Gear 5. So, yeah. Talk to you guys soon.
I've been swimming deep, deep. Savage.